I like to tinker around. I've got a workshop here that I go out and make things. And my father used to build these, and it's a bluebird house. So I'm going to build a few of these to put out at the cabin. They attract the western bluebird, which I love having around.
Dad is one of those do-it-yourself type guys, so the whole family would be asleep in the cabin, and all of a sudden we'd wake up to the sound of the chainsaw outside. It was that or an axe.
I consider myself pretty dull, and in fact, I've tried my best to culture that over the years. I found that in business, being kind of steady and dull produces some pretty good results. So. I grew up in Entwistle, Alberta, which is about 45 minutes west of Edmonton. I was outdoors almost my entire childhood, and that's where I think I got the great interest in the environment.
He would talk about the summers out on his grandparents' farm, and he'd get, I think, a penny for a bale of hay, gather all that up and go buy some candy at the store, or save up for a baseball or something like that.
I had an objective. I wanted to buy a transistor radio so I could listen to my favorite team's baseball games.
There's the first hit of the game.
And I needed a transistor radio to do that. The subject that I really liked in grade 12 was chemistry. So I planned on going and taking chemistry at the University of Alberta. But my older brother was in engineering, and he said, well, you can do chemistry if you like it, but don't you want to make a little bit of money along the way? Engineers make more money than chemists do, so do chemical engineering. And that's how it happened.
He's done, of course, amazing things, not only with us at Hudson's Bay in the 1970s, later at Home Oil, and then, of course, the big deal is Enbridge. He's run that with an iron fist for years.
When he started as the CEO, our market cap was in the $4 billion area. And of course, when he retired, it was getting up towards $40 billion. Pat was the kind of leader who rolled up his shirt sleeves. And the spill in Michigan is a fantastic example of that kind of leadership.
When I first heard about this and first witnessed the mess that we'd made in Michigan, it was horrifying. I thought, yeah, how are we ever going to clean this up?
He literally moved to Michigan and was on the site every day for a 2-month period, directing the operations, directing the cleanup.
I still go back. I go back to canoe the river. I was there last summer with a very good friend, and we canoed the Kalamazoo to make sure it's more pristine than it ever was, and it is.
Obviously, in the pipeline industry, you're going to have issues with the environment, but he does walk the walk and supports the environment. Drives a Prius, things like that.
I consider myself more of an environmentalist than most people that label themselves environmentalist, but I also realize that people need to be able to heat their homes in the winter. They need to be able to get their kids to school in the school bus, and that takes energy and it takes hydrocarbons.
I see a real closeness between Pat and his boys. I was recently at an event where Pat was present with his sons, and the grandchildren were hanging on him.
He loves being involved with their activities and sports, and he'll go and babysit.
The girls love him. They like putting bows in his hair, and then he can be hockey grandpa as well. And so he just really likes to contribute to all aspects of their life. He's fantastic with them.
The Family Foundation has been one of the real joys of being retired and being able to focus on this. We support psychosocial oncology at the University of Calgary, an issue that's very important to my family.
Both of his parents had cancer. Colon cancer is a major thing that runs in our family. I think the psychological part is something that really hit home, and that's why he got into that.
I'm personally very involved with Light Up the World, and it's an organization that goes around the world installing solar systems, primarily in homes that don't have access to power.
He's gone on multiple expeditions with them up into the high mountains of Peru.
I'm a big supporter of Outward Bound Canada, and I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro twice with Outward Bound.
I think it was a real highlight for him, a milestone for him, and I don't know, maybe he'll do it again. He's not getting older. He's getting better.
My friend Ken McNeil would describe Pat Daniel this way. He said, you know, that guy can tell you where to go in such a way you look forward to the trip.
Pat was anything but dull. It's a wonderful story. You know, it's business success, it's philanthropy, and it's family.
I've been very lucky. I can't imagine things having gone much better than they have. I've been very fortunate to have good health, and I think the grandkids are going to keep me pretty young.